because I've seen it so many times, I can recognize it instantaneously, like immediately, instantaneously, and it makes it, easier for me. Now, somebody without my experience, the difficulty level on that is going to be, you know, Goku level, whatever, whatever the highest level, whatever level, that's gonna be crazy because you had coming in with no previous knowledge, no skills, no nothing. That's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
So
But that's why I say that, from a cultural standpoint, we need to do a better job of making it okay. Not.
that's where I learned it from. I
Mhm.
learned to ask questions because I see so many people who don't. Like
Yeah.
I see so many people who just refuse to say I don't know. Listen, if I'm doing something I don't know is my go-to.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something and I really don't know, like if I Google it, if I play with it and I can't do it myself, I'm calling somebody. I'm gonna
No.
call somebody and say, I don't know how to do this. Walk me through this so I can understand it, so I can do it myself. You know what I mean? Like I don't need you to do it for me. I need you to walk me through it so I can do it. So that I don't have to keep calling you. You know what I mean? Like dependency that way is crazy to me too.
Yeah. But here's the thing, especially being a black man, right? I know that at least I can speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody, but when we're raised a certain way, like, to show no weakness, to what I mean, all these things that, are kind of what we're
I'm
told.
kind of glad that missed me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it didn't miss me. so, so I grew up in a neighborhood with like OG old heads, like that was, and
No,
it
my
wasn't necessarily
neighborhood
that
was like that, but my household.
but it wasn't necessarily that they said you have to be this way. Although that some of that happened too, is more of how they carry themselves, right?
Yeah,
In my household neighborhood, I didn't know black men to show vulnerability in a way that is probably proper. Now
man.
that I have more information. But again, that's the benefit of me having more information and being able,
My uncles were my first teachers, so they made me ask. So like it was kind of, you know, I kind of got the opposite. Like, you know what I mean? Like
but what I'm talking about is the idea of not necessarily asking, just the idea of what black
being
masculinity is.
vulnerable enough to ask, right? But
Yes.
that's the thing that they taught me. Like, look, if you don't know, you have to ask
Hmm.
because we can't teach you if you don't tell us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that was
Mhm.
their whole thing. Like, so if you want to be like, I wanted to be able to play chess like they did. Like my uncles played chess and they were boxing and playing. Like my first sport was boxing.
Hmm.
I played football, basketball. My first sport was boxing. I wanted to learn the science of boxing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so when I was younger, for them to teach me those things, I had to ask a lot of questions to get where I wanted to go.
Hmm.
And so, like for me, it's second nature, but I understand for the vast majority of black people, not even black people, just people,
No, it's
asking
people in
for
general,
help
but I can only speak to
get to the black experience. But
yeah, and what I understand is from having family, cousins, friends, or whatever, it's like that idea of being vulnerable enough to ask is not nothing that was like talked about or fostered, especially when you talk about not learning from just what people tell you to do, right? Because I've had uncles and aunts, you got to ask questions, but that's not what you're showing me. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
I
it's
ain't
one
never
thing to
seen you
tell
ask
me that.
nobody to do nothing.
Yeah, but it's like, what are you showing me? Are you showing me that you're vulnerable enough to ask questions? Like, I've been in a car with like, men in my family, right? Where they clearly don't know where they're going and they ain't gonna ask nobody. We gonna sit in the whip and we gonna ride for another hour till they figure it out because they not asking for much. Like, I'm just keeping it a bean with you, bro. And I know I'm not the only one with that experience. So if anybody with that experience, like, let me know.
No, I know that.
True story, bro.